What's up guys, happy Thanksgiving. On this episode, we're making a sweet potato casserole pie, a dairy and non-dairy mac and cheese, a turkey roulade with cornbread stuffing. It's gonna get crazy. Get ready. It's Cooking with Flava with Ava. Welcome back to Cooking with Flava with Ava. On this episode, it's one of my favorite holidays, Thanksgiving. So grab your stretcher pants and get ready for some holiday classics with a little bit of a twist. Coming in with 6 different types of cheeses, let's start off with our baked mac and cheese. Melt 3 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. Once the butter has melted, let's add in our flour. Whisk that together. We don't want any clumps. We want a creamy sauce. And then we're going to slowly add in our evaporated milk. Half a cup of coconut cream. You can typically use milk, but coconut cream is just as tasty. Time for seasonings. We have a tablespoon of onion powder, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, a teaspoon of paprika, a teaspoon of cumin, and we're gonna mix that all together. Whisk, whisk. Our sauce is looking great. Now it's time to add our cheese. We have a cup of Asiago cheese. Next we have some Monterey Jack and white cheddar. Then some mozzarella. And of course we have to have some yellow cheddar, sharp cheddar, cheddar. If you're like me and dairy does not agree with you, stick around because the dairy-free mac and cheese is right after this. But while we're here, oh, look how creamy that sauce looks. Oh man, it's gonna be worth it. All right, let's add in our elbow pasta. This is the classic noodle for macaroni. And we're just gonna drown it in that cheese sauce. Creamy. We're gonna transfer it into our baking dish. Ooh, is it possible to be attracted to a food group? We're gonna add some Parmesan and combine it with the leftover cheeses and create just a wall of cheese. Into the oven at 375 degrees for 20 minutes. Ooh, it smells like Jesus just came back to earth and wanted some mac and cheese. Woo-hoo-hoo! We're gonna let this bad boy chill out for a moment and move on to our next dish. All right, so even though the 5, 6, 7,000 cheese mac and cheese is delicious, if I ate the whole thing up, I'd probably be in the emergency room. So, what we're gonna do is create a dairy-free mac and cheese that anyone who has a dairy allergy can enjoy. To start, we need to roast a head of garlic. You can use in the oven. My dad used his little grill gadget that he loves. And you peel it out and it comes out like this. You can blend or simply mash the garlic with a fork and add it to the pan with the melted butter. Roasted garlic really adds a depth of flavor to this pasta, and it's like the secret ingredient. Next, we're gonna add our flour and whisk it together like we did with our first cheese sauce. And we're going to add coconut cream instead of the evaporated milk. And whisk that together, no clumps. And we have some pasta water here. We're gonna save half of it for later. And add some dairy-free sour cream for some creaminess. And we gotta add a little bit of seasoning. We have some onion powder and garlic powder. And add our dairy-free cheeses. That's our dairy-free mozzarella, dairy-free cheddar, dairy-free smoked Gouda. That is so good. Salt and pepper, of course. And we're gonna add the rest of that pasta water. There's just so many layers of flavor to this. And then finish it off with a little bit of almond milk. And whisk until it is nice and creamy. For the dairy-free macaroni, I went with the spiral-shaped noodle. Just wanted to switch it up, and also this shape allows for the sauce to get really into the crevices of each noodle, and it's so good when you bite into it. Oh, the magic. We're just gonna top it with some fried onions. They just crumple up on top, creates a nice crunch. Then we have some more of that dairy-free cheddar that we're gonna put on top. And pop this sucker into the oven, and voila. I got my plate, let's get started. As you can see, there's been a mouse in the house. Woo! We have our 5/6 cheese mac and cheese, and then our dairy-free mac. This will help me not explode when I taste this mac and cheese. Taylor MD. That is once a year worth it. Next, let's try the one that won't kill me. So creamy. See if people can tell which one's which, because these are delicious. Moving on to our turkey and cornbread stuffing. To start, we have half of a white onion chopped, 1 shallot chippy chopped, half of a green bell pepper, and 1½ stalks of celery, all chopped. Seasoned with salt and pepper. Quick stir. And we're going to combine that with a pound of our sweet Italian sausage that we have cooking here. And it wouldn't be a cornbread stuffing without cornbread. Now I went ahead and already made this to save us some time. We're going to crumple it up into a bowl. And we're going to combine all of that yumminess together and add some chicken stock, a little garlic and onion powder, 2 eggs, and we're going to add a ½ cup of melted butter. This slow motion is brought to you by my father, who does not know the difference between slow-mo and regular videotaping. Now that we have our stuffing, let's get this turkey stuffed. Alright, I hope you brought some aggression with you, because we're about to thin out this turkey breast. Once it's wrapped in plastic, let her go. Don't beat your kids. Beat the turkey. I wasn't the only one who needed to blow off some steam. Give the turkey a chance. Alright, now that it's about this thin, we're going to add our cornbread stuffing. Get a good layer on there. You can spread it out with your fingers. Now it's time to roll up our turkey breast. I like using a turkey breast opposed to a whole turkey. 1, because it saves so much time, and 2, you're a lot less likely to have a dry turkey. It's just like a big turkey burrito, okay? Just keep rolling. You'll notice I have some cooking string underneath the turkey breast, and that's so we can tie it together to keep all of that yummy stuffing in while it's in the oven. You can use the plastic wrap to help you grab the string, while you just simply tie into a knot and bow. We're gonna add some olive oil and salt, pepper, onion, garlic powder, the usual seasonings. Next, bacon. Yeah, this is not for vegetarians. Make sure it's nice and tucked. We're gonna surround our turkey breast with some fresh herbs, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Last up, and we have loads of time. Hurry up now! We don't have loads of time! Okay, 2020 has gotten to me. We're gonna put some butter on top of our turkey breast. Lastly, we're going to surround our turkey breast in chicken stock. This is gonna help steam and keep it moist. It will also help create a nice gravy for us when we're done. Now we're gonna pop this in our oven at 400 degrees for 20 minutes, and then we're gonna slowly drop the temperature until it's completely cooked. The temperature of your meat should be 155 degrees. It's important to baste so that our turkey stays nice and moist while it's cooking. It's been 20 minutes, so we're gonna drop the heat to 325 degrees and continue to cook until we reach 155 on that thermometer. With 5 minutes remaining, we're gonna add these beautiful cranberries on top for some color and sweetness. Don't forget to baste and remove the lid to allow our turkey to get nice and golden. I took some fresh herbs and cranberries to create a nice bed for our turkey. Let's get the turkey. Look at that beauty! Oh, it smells so good. Ah, it's a masterpiece. We're gonna just top it with a little bit more of those juices because we don't want a dry turkey. You can't have turkey and no gravy. So hold on to those drippings and I'll show you how easy it is to make good gravy. Melt some butter, add some flour, and those drippings. Mixy mixy. Yum, it's thickening. A little salt and pepper, and ba-bam! That's it. Good old-fashioned gravy. Now it's time to carve the beef. Look at that cornbread stuffing, the cranberry, all of the juices. You better get your plate. Are you guys ready for this? Da-na-na-na. tasting time. Can I marry myself? Oh my God, that is some gravy. Such a moist turkey, cooking it like we did, basting it over and over again. Last but not least, my new favorite, sweet potato casserole pie. Our sweet potatoes are gonna cook for an hour on 400 degrees. And you wanna cook them long enough so that your fork can go all the way through easily. Grab our handy dandy masher. And the great thing about casseroles and pies is kind of just mix everything together in at once and you're good to go. So we have a half a cup of sugar, a third a cup of our coconut cream. We have a half a cup of softened butter, 2 eggs, beaten. Time for some fall seasonings. We have half a teaspoon of nutmeg and a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Oh, it's Thanksgiving madness. Oh, it feels so homey. Next up, we have a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So I wanted to go in between textures between a pie and a casserole. A little bit looser than a pie, but firmer than the casserole. So that really comes down to how much flour you add. We're gonna add 1.5 tablespoons. We're mixing this all together. I want it to be nice and smooth. Add our filling to our pie crust. You can make your own or buy one like I did. It's fine. And we're just gonna make sure it's nice and smooth. Now we're gonna make the crumble we're gonna sprinkle on top before we pop it in the oven. Combine a cup of brown sugar. Ooh, that's so satisfying. And if you've ever had issues with your brown sugar getting hard in the pantry, what you can do is just put a couple pieces of bread inside, and then your brown sugar is always squishy. Life hack. Back to our topping. Half a cup of flour and a third a cup of melted butter. And this is gonna make the crumble that's really gonna take this pie over the top. So we're gonna mix it all together until it turns into a bit of a crumble. Ooh, this is gonna be good! We're gonna bake for 30 to 35 minutes on 375 degrees. We want a little bit of a golden finish, so we're gonna brush some melted butter over the crust. And we can't forget our mini marshmallows that we're gonna put on top. And this is what really makes it a casserole pie fusion. It's the best parts of a sweet potato casserole put into a pie. Back in the oven for 10 more minutes. Sweet potato casserole pie. Oh, look at that. The marshmallows, so perfectly golden. Oh my goodness. Look at this, you guys. Sweet potato casserole pies. Sweet, sweet potatoes. I'm not crying, you're crying. You see, there's a whole layer from the brown sugar. This pie was so good. My soul literally left my body. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and a happy Thanksgiving. Subscribe for more recipes and tune in next time for Christmas!